Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tool to Play presents Still Got Game with Derek D. Smooth Nolan and Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 313. Still Got Game's official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
Welcome back, Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
What's going on? Missed you guys.
Missed you too. Hit stepped up for you in the 11th hour when a couple hours before the show, you're like, I forgot I have a family dinner I got to go to. I can't even make the show, guys. And
I watched the show and I actually liked it.
Nice, yeah.
I thought Hit did a really good job.
Yeah, when Hit lays off the pipe and he
becomes Bruce Lee.
I know.
Who knew?
It's like two separate guys. It's like by day he's like a professor. And he's like,
right,
Hitman, how are you?
He's like the reverse Hulk.
Yes. Instead of getting wildly crazy, he just becomes like,
subdued and more focused.
But yes, so it's good to have you back here, though.
Yeah, no, it's good to be back. It's good. I feel like I haven't done the show in like 4 weeks, but I guess it's probably not been that long, but it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been. So this is good. So I guess we'll just jump right into feedback from last week's show. Then remember, if any of you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Varzar comments. I'm glad you guys managed to get a show last week. I'm glad you guys managed to get off a show last week. Hitman did a good job filling in. Listening to his thousands of outtakes had me laughing my ass off. Yeah, the ending was crazy. There was a lot of Hitman outtakes at the end.
Watching Hit read the news, I actually rewound that about 6 times because I got so much enjoyment out of it. As he stumbled, he had like 3 sentences to read, but it took 45 minutes to get through.
I know.
All of those.
The file was so big. It was like, I felt like it was a short show, and the file was like over an hour.
Right.
And then when I finally ended it down, it was like 46 minutes.
It was like 30 minutes. You were like, wow, it was a really quick show.
Yeah, that's 46 with all the outtakes put back in.
With everything?
Yes, yeah. So it was crazy. So, yeah, insane. Absolutely insane.
Nice. He did a good job. He did a good job.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure Hit's very happy to hear that, Varzar. All right, next up, Drem comments. Was a pretty okay show with Hitman last week. Not the same as your usual spectacle, but definitely okay. Also, I realized that it's his voice in your intro. So let's start with the latter part. That is Hitman's voice in our intro. Okay, now let's go to the beginning part.
It's like, you can't see Hit right now, but he's like, yeah,
I was okay.
That's good.
That is, it's better than saying that Hit was not good.
Right.
It is. He's definitely out there saying Hit was okay.
Pretty okay.
Oh, pretty okay. Yeah, it wasn't even full okay.
Right. He's like almost mediocre, I guess. Is that? I think that's what that means. I don't know.
Yeah, was pretty okay show with Hitman last week. Not your usual spectacle, but definitely okay. Definitely okay.
Definitely okay.
Pretty
so
okay.
By the end of the statement, he becomes definitely okay. The beginning wasn't so sure.
It was pretty okay, but then definitely okay. So I think the moral of the story here is Hit did it okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and last but not least, Donna comments. Thanks for getting us out a show last week, even though my second favorite host was MIA. D-Smooth did a fantastic job taking Hitman under his wing, and Hitman held his own. Great episode. All right, so that's a little stronger on Hit. I'm also gathering now that I must be the favorite host if you are the second favorite host.
Which is fine because for a person that doesn't enjoy what he does when he comes on the show, it's I can live with that. Yeah.
Nice. Or doesn't enjoy what he does. Well played. Yeah. So yes, thank you for the kind words and thank you for moving Hitman back up out from the okay zone to the held his own zone. I'm still not sure if that's better than okay. Like
I think it is.
You could say like if a little baby you threw him in the ocean and they didn't drown and like they kept their like that's holding your own.
I like to think of it as it's a boxing match and Hit came in completely untrained. He didn't know how to fight. They threw him in the ring and he went like 3 or 4 rounds. He was there. He fought. He was there.
He was a contender.
The towel didn't come in. He just, he went as far as he could go. He didn't win, but he showed up.
Yeah, he did.
Quality. It's quality.
Put in a couple rounds. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for the comments, and thank you for your various levels of kudos to hit. If any of feedback like that, you can give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooledtoplay.com. And in site-related news, which changes up a little bit this week, because obviously E3 was last week. And from Tool to Play, Sarcasmo Jones and Chunky Soup were out in E3 in our stead. And I know they call themselves the second string team or something like that.
I didn't like that.
On their news story.
I read that and said, look, guys, you're technically first tier. Yeah. We go in your stead because we've been doing this for 10 plus years.
Yes. So I think that the coverage that came out of those guys there
really good.
Excellent. It was
excellent coverage.
Yep.
When me and Derek go, our coverage is literally like, skeet, skeet, skeet. This game's great. I want to fuck this game. I want to fuck it. And that's like our notes for like 3 days straight. They took proper notes. They had proper articles, great photos, good experience.
Yep.
I thought it was like some really stellar shit. I was really, really proud of everyone that went out there and wrote up stories and stuff like that. I thought it was great. I thought Sarcasmo was going to like only do race shit. He did every game. He gave good opinions. I was pleasantly surprised with the articles. It was good. It was really good. Super proud.
They did some good shit. And
sure.
And I think that you and I now have something to learn from them moving out in the future. So you and I and Tiff will have to take a page out of their book and perhaps make some changes to the way we cover.
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, they did some good stuff. And I have in the notes here, we were talking a little bit about E3, but that question does come up again later. And I promised Altius that if we had a duplicate, we wouldn't stamp on his parade.
So, I understand that. Yeah.
So, I guess the only other thing in site news is that tomorrow's your birthday, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
So
well played. It is, in fact, my birthday.
Yes. So
yes, it is. Yeah.
You got any big plans?
Going out to dinner. We have this awesome, I'm sure you guys got them out there in Boston, but it's a bar that does it's got like all the vintage video games. Mm-hmm. It's like arcade games, pinball games, Mortal Kombat, usually when I stick it out and play it there. So we're going to go out to dinner, but then, we're going to hit up it's called Headquarters is what it's called out here.
Oh, nice. Yeah. They're
super
popping
fun.
up more and more. I think they started in New York
everywhere.
as Barcade, and then after Barcade, they started popping up all over the place.
Yeah. Like this is called Headquarters Barcade.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So maybe
they
all license off the Barcade brand, like their
name.
standalone chains or franchisees. But
it's fun because, you get kind of like shithouse and you play I love playing Tron, original Tron. So I'll go there. It's right by my work, so I'll go there after work sometimes to get a beer and play some Tron.
Nice.
It's fun to play those old games, and the nostalgia for me only works on the physical game. Like if I bought it or emulated it,
it's not the same thing. No.
I need the dialer for Tron and the huge giant fucking stick. I need all that stuff. So that's what I'm doing. It'll be fun.
Very nice. Excellent. Well, in advance, happy birthday. And by the time the people that are listening to the show or watching on YouTube see this, your birthday's passed and you guys all fucking missed it. So fucking dicks. Other than that, site really is. Oh, you know what? I stopped drinking caffeine.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's fucked up. I decided to try. Now, for those of you that know me, I usually drink anywhere between 4 and 8 Monsters a day and anywhere between 20 and 30 cans of caffeinated soda a day. So last week I was like, just kind of like you do with alcohol every once in a while. You're like, I'm going to take a week off and make sure I'm still cool and I'm not completely addicted to this thing. Yes. So a couple months back, I took a week off of alcohol. I was like, oh, it's all fine. And so I was like, I'll take a week off of caffeine. Day 2, fucking headache out the motherfucking ass. But then after day 2, I fucking transcended everything. I was like, I don't even need caffeine anymore. So right now I'm drinking a fucking polar seltzer right now. Well, I thought I was going to go back after a week, and now it's been 12 days. So I don't know what to do. And it's not like I still go to bed at 1 a.m, get up at 5:40, and I don't have any issues. So
no.
We'll see what happens.
In the morning, you're not as sluggish. You're still ready to go. Well, as ready to go, as you can be. But you're okay.
I'm no worse than I was before. Only getting 4 hours and 40 minutes of sleep every night.
It's kind of how I am too. I've lived that way for 30 plus years, so it's fine.
Yes, yeah. But
I don't drink caffeine, so
yeah, it's been weird. So this, but I imagine at times that I need it now. it will be effective for me.
Yes, you'll actually get the boost from it.
Yeah, I kept such a high baseline for caffeine that it never affected. Like, unless I had it, I would get headaches. But I could drink a Monster and then go right to bed, and it would not be an issue. But now, if like I'm in a casino and I'm trying to do like some big long binge and I bust out a Monster, oh my God, that shit's gonna keep me up for like a whole.
Yeah, you're gonna be jacked for like, it's gonna be like crystal meth for you.
Yes, so I think the overall outcome of this is gonna be good. But
nice.
Yeah, so that's my only my weirdness there. But on that, Jay, why don't we jump on over into what we're playing? Joel, Dude, I Rock Albert, what have you been playing this week?
Well, this week was the release of the patch for World of Warcraft, so I'm actually raiding again after taking hiatus for the last like month and a half. So I'm back playing that again, but I'm getting to the point where I'm finally like, man, I'm not wanting to do this much anymore. So if you guys didn't look, Star Wars is actually their MMO, which I really did enjoy. They're changing like their whole structure. It's going to be more expansion coming out, big too. Expansion, and it's focused almost entirely on story. And I will say, if you guys have never played the story, not even counting the MMO stuff and all the other crap, the grinding, one of the best stories ever in an MMO. So now that they're free to play and they're releasing this expansion, I might actually start looking into that. And then WildStar, the other MMO I played for a while, is also going free to play. Yep. So like when you look at the options out there in the marketplace and everything's sort of free now, and WoW is still the pay to play, it starts to not make as much sense.
This is true.
Content's good, then it's worth the money. But I've been playing the game for so fucking long. It's nice to try new things. What about you? I'm assuming you're still.
Oh, Destiny just has so much to do. Like, it's all Destiny all the time. Like, I'm in there. I got to do now. I have all my Prison Elders I got to do every week. I have all that fucking raids. Like, everything's insane. Like, I haven't even done the raids now in a couple weeks because there's so much other content to do between Prison of Elders and Trials of Osiris and you name it. So it's good. I'm still enjoying the fuck out of it. Still getting new shit. As long as
so people are still. I mean, I left, but so are people still raiding though? Is there a reason to raid exactly, or
there's still a reason to raid because if you don't have any of those raid weapons, the only place you're going to get those, like you'll still get it and you'll ascend it to 365, which is the current max. But if you want Black Hammer, which is arguably the best sniper rifle in the game, the only way to get that is to run Crota, and to run that you got to run Crota on easy. So that was a nice twist that they made with Crota, where different weapons would drop in easy and hard. So it wasn't like before where you always had to run on hard and to get the best stuff. Now you want Black Hammer, you're gonna run on easy, you change it up, and I don't know. It's been fun. It's been good shit. So I'm gonna keep playing, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon.
Well, I mean, we don't. I don't know if we're going to talk too much about it, but I did. The new expansion for it does actually look quite good. We're going to touch on a story from it that I hate, and it's one of the reasons I almost don't want to buy it. But it does look good. So and that's when I'll come back. Because again, it's got a raid, and if it's got a raid, I'll show up. So I'll be there eventually.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, normally right now we jump in the new releases, but there's no major new releases out this week. So I guess on that, Jay, we're going to hop right into gaming news. First story!
So speaking of Bungie and Destiny, Bungie apologizes to all Destiny fans, will sell Taken King DLC goodies separately, and this is via Polygon. So if you didn't know, Bungie's The Taken King expansion for Destiny includes much new content, tons of content, in fact. But fans were annoyed when some of the exclusive bonuses were included in the $80 The Taken King Collector's Edition that could be purchased no other way. So the only way to get all these extra things was basically by spending what I think is way too much money on an expansion. First of all, the idea of I'll talk about it after this, but the idea of a collector's edition of an expansion is quite possibly the dumbest thing that I've ever witnessed in gaming.
That Taken King Collector's Edition comes with the game and all
the game itself. DLC. But so does in the MMO world, so does almost every other expansion. That is not there's no such thing as like a collector's version of that. I mean, World of Warcraft does, but I think that's like the only other exception. And ironically, both Activision Blizzard. So
true.
Take what you want from that. But Bungie has addressed the situation yesterday, and it looks like fans have finally been listened to. Luke Smith commented, quote, reading my interview, and in case you guys didn't know, he did an interview in Eurogamer, which he basically shit on all gamers. So there's that free story there. Reading my interview with Eurogamer, and imagining it came from some random developer of a game I love. That random developer looks like an asshat, Smith wrote. Quote, but that asshat was me, and those words rightfully anger you. That's a shitty way to say that, but anyway. So, of course, he said, quote, I'm sorry, which I think is what everyone was really looking for. But further than that, Bungie went on to try to make good. So Bungie has now pledged that to address that content, which consists of 3 armor shaders, 3 exotic class items with XP bonuses, and 3 class-specific emotes, lame, in a digital package that will be sold for $20 starting in September 15th of this year. The blog post goes on to discuss as yet unannounced bonuses for, quote, VIP characters who have been playing the game since launch or purchased the existing expansions, as well as a hint about a bonus for people who rebought the game for the content listed above. Like Derek said, you get the game with that price. Quote, if you have purchased the existing digital collector's edition and you already own Destiny and both expansion packs, we have some additional information for you soon, Bungie stated. So I have so many thoughts on this, but I want to get your honest opinion, what you think of this whole debacle.
All right. Well, when I first read the interview, if I was someone that was not always reading the Bungie updates during the Halo days and didn't know who Luke Smith was, I would have been pretty offended by that. Like, you know, you're going to want to throw your money at the screen. The only way to just give me your $80. Like, he came off like a huge dick. And like in chat, Greenzilla saying Luke Smith is a shitty human being. That's how he comes off. But if you remember, he was always in the Halo updates, he was always the guy that would tease you and they say, okay, we're going to show you the map this next week. And then instead of the map, he would draw the map or do something. He would do always. That's just his personality. He's like the Jim Sterling of Bungie. Somebody's got to be the asshole. But in this case, he was trying to be funny and not an asshole. Even Eurogamer came out later and said, hey, he was being funny, but it doesn't come across that way on paper versus the actual interview. That said, I think it was absurd that Bungie did not have that case covered for people that had already bought everything and they wanted these things. Some people are like, oh, it's just some dance shit and other things. But it's also got these 3 class items that give you they call it an XP boost, but everything else that boosts your XP also boosts when you're leveling a gun or when you're leveling armor. It's not just XP, which anybody that's been past level 20 doesn't even need. So I think that there's value there, and I think that maybe 20 is a little high, but at least it's a price on it and not you gotta go pay another $80 for all the shit you already have and get the expansion and this extra stuff. So I don't know. I think it's a step in the right direction, but I think that Luke was taken a little out of context, or the context wasn't easily readable from his interview. But it's a step in the right direction. And all along, Bungie has tried to remedy when people have problems with Destiny. They've changed the entire gameplay of this game 3 times. And each time it's gotten better, and it seems to go more and more along with what fans want. So you got to give them some credit.
Yeah, so my problem is really that I don't... And when I read this whole thing from Luke, and again, I got to go with Derek on this point, which is that, like, that is Luke's personality. The thing is, if you take Luke out of the equation and you just look at the value and the pricing of everything, this is... No matter what anyone will tell me, I will not believe them. I think this is a deliberate way to just it's a cash grab straight from Activision. I don't believe that, I think they did have their bases covered. I don't think they thought oh shit, we didn't think about how people would actually want this extra stuff. They thought if we put extra stuff in here, not only will we get new players to come in and spend the full $80 to get everything all at once, plus the bonus stuff, but we may even get some dumb shits that have already spent their money on the game to reinvest way too much money and rebuy the game just to get, because they're hardcore, just to get these other extra things. And for me, the entire thing comes off very disingenuous. Whether or not they had their bases covered, I don't know. They certainly were able to move very quickly based on this feedback in order to make this offering. It wasn't like this has been lingering on for 2 weeks. They made the announcement within 2-3 days. They came back and said, we've listened to you guys. We know we've made a mistake. Here's another way to still spend the money. In my mind, a mistake of that level warrants you giving stuff away for free almost. It's near that level of disingenuousness where them then offering it for $20 isn't really like, oh, you've totally, well, man, the content's, yeah. No, you're still spending the money. You still have to spend the money to buy those items. And it all comes down to, on Destiny's release, a lot of people know, or at least believe, that a lot of content was done and or withheld in order to then sell later for more profits. So it's this sort of nickel and diming. When you compare the content load that comes with something from World of Warcraft versus something that comes into Destiny, there is no comparison. And the price that you pay is also less. And so when I see things like this coming from a person who's played MMOs his whole life, and especially in the free-to-play models now where you're essentially getting the content for free, it's really hard to justify spending the money to play Destiny for me. That might not be the case for everybody else. I do think it's good that they're, like Derek said, the only upshot to this, the silver lining is that they have proven they can turn on a dime. It's very hard to do in the development world. Bungie has basically said, like, numerous amounts of times, wow, this is going really badly, poorly, whatever, reactions are bad. Let's switch it up, let's change it, let's fix it. And they do those things. So there's a silver lining there. I don't want to like say that I think it's all bullshit and they're, all money grubbing hookers, but they've gone sort of both ways for me. And when I see these prices, and I don't think it's Bungie, I 100% think it's Activision, 100%. It still sucks. Like, it still makes it hard for me as a gamer to like want to invest my money and play the game.
I see both sides of this, like I said, and Activision, a lot of money was spent on this, and they want some recouping of that also. So I don't know. You can't win either way.
Well, you could just give it to me for free, but yeah, I mean, I guess there's.
Well, they are giving us something else for free, other VIP thing now, because that didn't exist until everybody hated them.
Right? Yeah, it's like that's what sucks. I think is like it's for Bungie right now for this game. It always seems to come down to like, okay, when the fans really are like flipping tables over, breaking windows.
Then let's give them some.
Then let's throw some shit over there, and then we'll keep to the same fucking model we had for the last year and just do it again. Yes. So yeah, I mean, I hope things change, but I'm like super psyched for the expansion. I'm still gonna buy it. I'm still gonna, like that's the thing is I don't hate the game. I don't hate the game. I like the game. Want to play the game. So
excellent.
All right.
Next story.
Next story. Warner Brothers suspends Arkham Knight PC sales via Kotaku. So for all of you guys that have played Batman on your consoles, you're lucky. That's all I can say. Publisher Warner Brothers says that they're taking drastic steps and suspending all sales of Arkham Knight on the PC until the game's technical woes can be addressed. A statement posted on the company's forum reads, "Dear Batman Arkham Knight PC owners." I don't know if I want to read this whole thing because it's kind of long, but we want to apologize to those of you who are experiencing performance issues with Batman Arkham Knight on the PC. In bold, we take these issues very seriously and have therefore decided to suspend the future game sales of the PC version while we work on addressing these issues to satisfy our quality standards. We greatly value our customers and know that while there are significant amounts of players who are enjoying the game on PC, we want to do whatever we can to make sure that experience is better for PC players overall. Thank you to those players who have already given valuable feedback, and by feedback they mean fuck you, I want my money back. We are continuously monitoring all threads posted in the official Batman Arkham Knight community and Steam forums, as well as any issues logged with our customer support. If you purchased your copy of the game and are not satisfied with your experience, we ask you for your patience while these issues are resolved. If desired, you can request a refund at help.steampower.com or the retail location where you purchased the game. The Batman Arkham fans have continually supported the franchise to its current height of success, and we want to thank you for your patience as we work and deliver an updated version of Batman Arkham Knight on PC so you all can enjoy the final chapter of Batman Arkham series as it was meant to be played. So drastic and almost unprecedented, but given the state of the game was in, is definitely welcome. note just how severe the move of a move this is. Not only are they taking one of the biggest games of the year off of the shelf, but they're giving you a clear instruction on how to actually get your money back, which is like pretty much never heard of. So on that side of things, it's good. However, the one thing I don't like about this, and the reason I think it's actually coming off of Steam, is very, very simple. So Steam has a full rating system, and if you look on Steam for Batman Arkham right now, it's like a negative 50,000, right? I'm exaggerating, but it is because, Steam guys get together, and even if people are having a decent experience on the PC, it's like the bandwagon. Everyone's like, yeah, fuck them.
Fuck that game. Fuck that shit.
My friend's friend couldn't get its work. Fuck that. So it's killing their sales just by people that maybe aren't in like the gaming world, but like to play games, don't know much about games. They see this shitty Batman game and they're not going to buy it. So one of the real reasons it's really coming off of Steam is because they want to redistribute it once it's done, clear the ratings, and have a brand new rating system once it's fixed. So there's a little bit of, I don't want to say shadiness here. It's sort of like to kill two birds with one stone, but there's certainly a reason and a goal to getting it off of there as fast as humanly possible. Because it is a great game. I want to preface it by saying that. Console ratings have gone really, really high. People seem to be completely in love with it. But it's destroying their sales right now. So, and I don't know. What do you think?
Someone mentioned in chat, but yeah, I'd heard the same thing where there was a really small team that was given very little time to port the finished console versions over to PC. And at the same time, they had the pressure from the other end where like people had this as a bundling code with NVIDIA cards for a while, get your free copy on Steam. Like that was the selling point. It was a hard date to meet given it's almost like the development window went long on Xbox and other consoles, but the release date stayed the same.
Yeah, I was like,
as the console release pushed out, the PC one stayed the same, and that ends up shrinking that development window for those guys. And you got to feel bad for that team. I know that everybody hates this, and in chat, and apparently they gave to a team of 12 people at Iron Galaxy 8 weeks to port it to PC. Yeah, it's fucked up, but it's an unprecedented step, like you said. Hey, you bought our game, go ask for a refund, and we'll come back to you later, and hopefully you'll rebuy it, or just bear with us, and we're gonna do the best we can. But to release a game that broken, it's almost like they didn't even have time for QA. It was like
that's what everyone's saying.
It was like they compiled the build, and they're like, and then it's compiled. Ship it.
Put it to Steam. Has anyone tested this? Yes, the users will. Yeah. They will test this for us.
Well, maybe don't expect that anything can possibly be that broken.
That's what I don't know. I mean, I guess that's
there'll be bugs and we'll fix them, but not like it's completely unplayable, even with the highest end video cards. And yeah, it's
the only thing I could say is like you've got to fix a team of 12 is really small to do a port, right? Yep. The QA team, generally speaking, is not going to match numbers of developers. Even if it was a QA team of, let's say, 4 dudes, it is impossible to QA a game of that size, that reach. Here's the thing, QAing it against the Xbox, a lot easier than queuing against the PC. PC has thousands of different configurations, thousands of resolutions, screen sizes, hardware, everything and anything. To QA a game like that, of that size on something like the PC is, I feel bad for them more than anything. I'm glad I didn't spend the money because then maybe I'd feel angry. But because I didn't spend the money, I mostly feel bad.
Yep.
It's a shitty thing. They were set up to fail, and that sucks.
This is the best possible step they could have taken, though.
Yeah. But again, reminder for everyone, I keep saying this like every other show, just don't pre-order anymore. Stop fucking pre-ordering games. You can't get mad if you pre-order is my new thing.
Your little extra shirt is not worth it. Like your Batman outfit where he's wearing like a Red Sox hat, not worth this trouble.
Not worth it. Just fucking wait. Yep. Let everyone else suffer and then spend the money.
Yep.
Right? Just let them suffer.
Agreed.
All right.
Next story.
Splatoon sells 1 million units. Good job, Nintendo. Good job. This is via joystick. For the most part, if anyone watched E3 or even saw our coverage, which there was none on Nintendo, Nintendo pretty much kept quiet during E3 2015, really in lieu of sort of teasing the stuff they're going to do for their new console. I think it's called NX. I don't know what the terminology is. But anyway, at least in comparison to PlayStation and Xbox. But today, the company is celebrating a pretty huge milestone for Splatoon, the magical third-person shooter that was recently launched on the Wii U. Nintendo announced that the game has sold over 1 million copies since being released, making it one of the most successful Wii U titles to date, which is crazy because considering the last couple releases that Nintendo's had, Mario Kart and Smash Brothers, for a new IP, hats off. In a press statement, Nintendo of American President Reggie Fils-Aimé said, quote, "The milestone puts us in a nice position, of course, as we prepare to launch 11 more exclusive Wii U titles and Nintendo 3DS games before the end of the year, plus lame-ass amiibos, digital offerings, and..." Oh, I added that word in there. "Digital offerings and games from third-party partners." So this is cool.
As much as I hate Nintendo, it's nice to see that they actually put their money in something that wasn't Mario. It wasn't fucking Zelda. It wasn't something. They invested in something new. They saw a gameplay mechanic that was interesting and fun, and they tried to leverage it, and they sold 1 million copies. Now imagine if instead of just being a Nintendo fucking only property, if that was on all consoles, they would have sold 5 million units. So
yeah, I saw a recent interview with him at E3. I don't know if you picked up on it. I think it was on Eurogamer, where they basically outright asked him, like, "Hey, why don't you just say fuck it and do software? Like why don't you just do that?" And he actually responded. I mean, there's a response, not that it makes sense, I guess, to any of us, but really, like, what he basically came out and said was like, "Look, we are a video games company through and through. We don't have like Sony or Microsoft." He didn't say their names directly, but we don't sell hardware other than this one thing. We don't have TVs. We don't have PCs. We don't have tablets, phones, whatever. Like, this is just what we do. It's in our DNA. And it doesn't really matter, like, ultimately matter to them what everyone thinks outside. And this is probably their problem because they're living in their little bubble. But, like, industry-wide, they don't really think they don't let that stuff influence what they're doing. And their goal is to always build the best system possible. So, I mean, when you see stuff like this, I think that's why games like Splatoon and stuff get made through Nintendo. That's the weird thing. That's the light at the end of the tunnel for them, is that I don't think you would see a game like Splatoon on an Xbox or on a PS4. And there's a reason for that. So, like, where they maybe lack in their system, and that might change with their NX stuff coming out, they do make up for it in unique IPs. And, of course, they also, Mario is the shill for Nintendo, and the old shit will never die either. But at the same time, they do have that like ability to sort of come up with fun, interesting gameplay, and they're able to use their system to bring that stuff to light. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm happy for them. I'm happy.
I am too. It's your worst case scenario. It's more fodder for them eventually when they give up on the hardware to be like, hey, we know how to make games. Remember Splatoon? Sold fucking 1 million copies. Maybe we can make some of Splatoon 2 for all consoles. So. It's all how you look at it.
Seeing my whole thing is like seeing them in mobile is like, okay, well, you're in mobile now. You're going into mobile. That's not a Nintendo piece of hardware.
Yep.
Like, let's keep
testing the waters.
Let's just test that out. Yeah. So yeah, good stuff.
All
right. Next story, and let me just say right now that I'm going to use the word penis so many times in this next story. It's going to be uncomfortable for everyone, including myself. Your penis size in Rust is tied to your Steam ID. This is via Game Politics. So if you have a small penis in Rust, blame it on your Steam ID. According to a PC Gamer report, apparently developer Facepunch is using people's Steam IDs to determine what length and size your penis will be in the game. This mildly amusing news is, of course, from Reddit, because where else would it come from? Where a video showing off the effects of different Steam IDs change the penis sizes in the game. Wow. And while Rust creator Gary Newman confirmed that the report was in fact accurate, he wouldn't go into detail about the process. Like, I love this. There's like a secret sauce to making penis
If I have more capital letters in my Steam ID, does that give me a bigger penis?
Other than to say that it is in fact tied to Steam ID. So he did confirm that piece. Quote, like tallness, face, head size, jaw definition, race, and limb size, penises are also randomized. Awesome. Another big change on the way, of course, female characters. In a recent blog post, Facepunch said that it has started adding a female model into the game, and the end result would not be a sexy model. Quote, we really don't want to make female models unrealistic in the sense of her being aesthetically idealized. Facepunch artist Thomas Butters wrote, by the way, his last name is Butters, that's awesome. Quote, in the same way that our male models aren't perfect specimens of the male body, neither should our females be. No huge boobs, no 4-inch waist here. It's likely that the race randomization that was added a few months ago, giving players randomized skin color, whether they wanted to or not, uses some variant method of the whole penis size decision, which is probably also tied to your Steam ID. Story is fucking ridiculous.
Yes. This is the same game we talked about like a couple months ago. Where
a couple months back.
Your race was random, which apparently is not random. It was probably also based on your Steam ID. Right. Some kind of hashing. And they're like, oh, you're this color or whatever. That's it's crazy that someone has to think of that, though, because really,
that's the best part of the story.
What is your penis even seen in the game, or is it just like an outline in your shorts or something? Like, unless your junk is out, why do you need to have someone code an algorithm to deal with penis size and girth? Like, that just seems fucked up.
I would love to see like their ticketing system. Like, Jim, we need you to do 30 hours on dick size this weekend.
We'd like you to use the Steam ID to hash that. And then based on the hash, we want you to assign a length and size and girth to the penis. And you got to work with Bob because he's working on the color, because you can't have
artists got to work together
like
with the
dark
programmers.
Penis and a light body or vice versa. It has to be the same.
Can't have it. Yeah, and then imagine like the producer getting upset because they're going over budget on the penis thing and he wants to keep it in budget. And just, I mean, the whole scenario is like really fucked up. The only thing that I like about this, that I really do like about this, is I like that they're keeping, and this goes more to the female thing, like that they're keeping it like you could have a giant dick, but you're probably like some fat asshole or something like that.
Yep.
It's good.
That's true. It's all random. Yeah.
It's all random. Yep. So it'll be interesting. And I'm wondering now, because of this penis thing, if they're working overtime for the booby size thing, because you can't, to me, it's unfair. If you're going to do that with a penis, there has to be some Steam ID that gives you either giant boobs or tiny ones. I don't know.
Yep.
Right?
Someone's got to figure this out. Someone's be like, I changed my Steam ID 500 times today, and I read it, and I've graphed out the results for all of these possible Steam IDs. You know it's going to happen. So.
Yeah. Best thing coming out of chat is the groom of the shot, or the groom of the stool. I want to buy an expansion pack, if you know what I mean.
Nice. Well played.
So, Derek, what do you think about the story?
Jay, this story has me saying, what the fuck? And on that, why don't we hop on over to the mailbag and voicemails? Altius asks, what were your big winners from E3? Who won the press conference battle? How did you two feel about getting reports second-handed? All right, we'll start with the third.
Let's start with the third.
I was sad.
You were probably, it was kind of nice, I guess. I don't know, it seems weird to say. I thought I was going to be super bummed, but I think after I saw the press releases and stuff and finally sort of got to digest everything, I was kind of happy to be sitting at home on my ass and watching it live. I actually was. I mean, did you really feel like a loss by not being there? Like, were you pissed?
When I saw pictures coming from Packers Party, that's
different.
That was the most painful thing.
I saw
on my social media. They're showing up on Facebook.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, Bonnie Ross was there this year. I would have loved to pick Bonnie Ross's brain for a while. Like, it was.
That's separate though. I'm just saying. So, but to his question about just that piece, let's say.
Yeah.
Like, were you bummed that you couldn't be there on those?
I do like the spectacle of the press events. I like being in there. I like when the lights go down. And although we're media and we're supposed to be impartial, I still get the fucking goosebumps. I'm like, we're fucking, yeah. I don't know. I missed it. I enjoyed the coverage we provided, but I missed being there myself.
Of course. Yeah. It was a bummer. So what were the other questions then?
Big winners and who won the press conferences. I think Microsoft certainly, I know, well, actually, some people, I watched Sony and I don't understand. Like,
I 100% agree with you. And I have to defend you right now because I feel like people are going to be like, you're super into Xbox. I don't play any consoles anymore. So I feel like at this point, I am now the most impartial person on this show.
Exactly.
I have Xboxes and PS4s. I play neither, But there's no fucking way Sony won.
No.
There's just no way.
Microsoft came over the top with so many games, so many announcements, fucking tops it off with back compatibility, which was like the ultimate tiebreaker between consoles. And they're like, oh yeah, we got that. And then Sony comes out and to me, before I started reading other people's coverage, I was like, okay, so they've got a Kickstarter going on and they've got a remake of a game that's 10 years old. And, they have the other games that we knew were coming and nothing exceptional. Like it just, I don't know. Like, because it was Final Fantasy VII. It was Shenmue 3 Kickstarter. There was nothing that really, really jumped out and was like, oh my God, this is the end all be all of everything. And then people are like, oh, Sony nailed it. Fucking Final Fantasy VII, baby. I was like, no.
I saw that as like being the reason they won. And I'm like, if this is the reason now, like if it's like, it goes almost to the where. Okay, I'll even say this is where Microsoft failed. And this is why I think the comment is funny. Microsoft failed because they showed the Gears of War remake at the end. Who the fuck cares about that? I think it's equally as like whatever. Yes, Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite games of all time. I will say that right now. I played that game like no one's business. I am excited to play that game again. But is it like winning the thing? No, it doesn't matter like how remastered it is. It's still Final Fantasy fucking VII. It's not a new Final Fantasy. It's nothing like super groundbreaking. So like for that, I was like, that's the reason they won? Really? That's the reason?
No, it just doesn't.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like Microsoft had a ton of games, but I also feel like for what they lacked in games, which I think they had a really pretty good showing, they way more than made up for with backwards compatibility and things that like,
even things we knew were coming. Halo 5, Gears 4, those two things. And then that fucking HoloLens demo, like, come on. I actually fucking was like, you know what? Minecraft is not a complete piece of shit. Like, that was the only time Minecraft ever looked cool. Like, they're fucking like, oh, let's see what's under this shit. Shove it down, bring it back up. It was insane.
It was great.
Like, yes.
And they're making such great strides with going from your Xbox to your PC now. Like, the Windows 10 compatibility shit is like, like for the PS4, you got to buy a little separate thing to be able to do any sort of streaming on another device. Now it's like, hey, you have a PC? Guess what? Your Xbox just works. You got your controller.
Oh, and it works the other way too. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, everything works everything.
And then for me to top it off, and okay, Morpheus is cool, but dude, you're telling me you would rather have Morpheus than have your Oculus Rift? I just don't see the reason why you would lock yourself into Sony, where if you buy your Rift, it works with your Xbox One, but it also works with any Steam games, anything on your PC. You can take it wherever you want to go. You're not locked into Xbox One with Rift. They're basically saying like, why would we as Microsoft, build our own Rift when we could just say, hey, you've been doing this the longest. You built this
premier thing.
You're the market leader. There you go. And it works out of the box. I don't know. To me, it's crazy. I can rant about that because I saw so many posts about PS4 and I was like, how the fuck did they win? But
I could go all day on this too. But
yeah.
Oh, and Sarcasmo says that we forgot Forza 6. I guess that's a better looking racing game than last year's racing game.
I'll never understand your love for Forza. I'm sorry.
No,
but
it's fucking racing.
It's like Madden to me. It's like, there's
roster update of Madden and make the graphics better. Yeah, fucking shoot. But yes, sorry, Sarcasmo. But I did mention it for you because I saw you put it in the chat.
Right.
All right. Well, if any of you have great questions like Altius, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tools2play.com. You can also comment on this episode's thread on the Tools to Play homepage. And sponsors. If we had sponsors this week, we'd be talking to them right now. If you were our sponsor, we'd be selling your shit right now. And people would be like, oh, please tell me where to buy it. I can't wait. But since we don't have any sponsors this week, you step out of the woodwork. Come to us. Tell us. Give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tools2play.com. You tell us what you're selling. We'll tell you what you're going to pay us. We'll sell it. You pay us. Boom. Done. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tools to Play related at twitter.com/toolsplay. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. King of the fucking internet, got of everything that's fucking holding me at twitter.com/Derek Nolan.
And of course, you can find me at twitter.com/DudeIRock.
Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/toolsplay. Facebook.com/Derek Nolan.
Facebook.com/DudeIRock.
We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tool to Play. That is the place to find all of Tool to Play's archive video content, whether it's this show, whether it's old shows that are defunct, like Thick and Thin with LB and Duty, or shows that are soon coming back, like Hits Hits. All that shit is on our YouTube channel. So youtube.com/Tool to Play. Go there and subscribe. We also need positive reviews in iTunes, because each time we've renamed this podcast, we've rebooted it, started a brand new section in iTunes. So we do need more reviews. And actually, maybe starting next week, I'll read some of the better reviews that we're getting in there. But we definitely need to go to iTunes, go to Still Got Game, give us a 5-star review, and then write something nice about it. The guys are gods. They're awesome, handsome. Derek D. Smooth Nolan's so fucking dreamy. Them blue eyes, though. Whatever you want to write, it's cool. Whatever. Just go there, 5 stars, and the text is secondary unless you want that text to be read in the next show along with your iTunes name, because, you know, that's a little bit of internet fame for you right there. Also, we have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Tool to Play. That is the place to find all of Tool to Play's live content. We're streaming games, we're streaming shows like this. We have a team page, so there's all kinds of people coming in and adding streaming content to Tool to Play. So go there, subscribe. That's the ultimate way to give money back to the show. If you can only follow us, just follow us. But subbing is definitely how you go directly to us and you inject us with that cash that we so need and you so want to give us. I guess last but not least, I want to remind all of you, join us each and every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, twitch.tv/Tool to Play. And on that, why don't we wrap this episode up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And of course, I'm Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
Jay, I think we won the press conference.
I feel like we won the press conference. Yeah.
This was it.